In Part 1, Detective Dan Diamond met up with Inspector Kazoo and Officer Scott, where they found the peas in a pile of poop, a ray that was left on a pile of soapbox gibberish. And a big bloated blueberry was found with a mic in a compromising place. What has it all to do with top hats? We will find out soon in Part 2 of Otter Creek Eliminations.
So we finally got him, the guy with the hats. Guess it was him all along, wearing these like some kind of signature. But this time, the hat stayed with him.
Yeah, no doubt about it this time. The hat's his. No more decoy, no more red herrings. But the question now, Detective Dan, why the corn? I get the bubblehead. We've been chasing this guy long enough to know he's no ordinary player. But why leave him in the middle of all this corn?
I don't get it. A guy with a bubble for a head, we find him in a cornfield, and he's the one who's been leaving all those top hats. I thought it would be bigger than this.
It's bigger than we thought, Scott. This guy's been laying low, hiding in plain sight with those hats, letting us chase our tails. But this scene right here, it's the final piece of his twisted little puzzle. Corn, it's simple, plain, feeds the masses. But look closer, it's everywhere, hiding in everything. Like this guy, he's been right in front of us the whole time, blending in, invincible, until we're ready to see him for what he is.
Like corn, Dan. Ordinary at first glance, but it's in everything. And this guy, he's been feeding us lies, making us chase all those hats, while the real crime was growing right under our noses. He thought he could hide like a kernel in the cob, blending in with the rest of the field. But why the bubble? Why the cornfield now? What's his end game?
The bubblehead? That's his mask, Inspector Kazoo. The way he saw the world, distorted, warped. He thought he was above it all, watching us through his own little glass bubble while we danced to his tune. And the corn? It's a statement. He thought he could hide in the mundane, the everyday, but in the end, even the most ordinary things can rot.
So he was just hiding in plain sight this whole time, like the cornfield represents him trying to blend in or something?
Yes, Officer Scott, he was everywhere and nowhere. The hats were meant to distract us, keep us running in circles while he played the puppet master. But this cornfield, it's his last laugh. The final show. He wanted us to find him here. He thought he could control how this story ended.
Except we're the ones who found him, Detective Dan. Maybe he thought he was smarter than the rest. But here he is. Dead in a cornfield with a busted bubble for a head.
And that's where he went wrong, Inspector Kazoo. He thought he could stay in the bubble, stay hidden forever. But like any bubble, it always pops. And now, he's just another husk in the field.
So it's over. Guy with the hats. We got him.
We got him, Officer Scott. But it's never really over. There's always another hat, another game, another guy hiding in the corn, thinking they got it all figured out. Let's just hope the next one doesn't leave us chasing bubbles.
Yeah, let's hope so.
We got him all right, the guy with the hats. But something about this doesn't sit right. Look at this, Inspector Kazoo. His bow's not just popped, it's pierced.
You are right, Detective Dan. This isn't just a case of him getting too clever for his own good. Someone killed him. This wasn't his doing.
Wait, what? I thought we figured it. He was the one pulling the strings. The hats, the bodies, all of it.
He was. But he didn't plan this ending, Officer Scott. Someone else did. This wasn't his last laugh. It's someone else's. Someone who let him play his game just long enough to wipe him off the board when they were done.
You are saying there's another player, someone even bigger, smarter, hiding in the shadows the whole time, watching us chase this clown around while they set up the real move.
Yeah, this guy with the hats, he was just a decoy. The whole thing, the hats, the bubble, it was his gig. But the person who killed them, they are the real one pulling the strings. And this cornfield, it's not just where he ended up, it's where he was left to die. The killer's mocking us, Kazoo. Whoever it is, they're not done, not by a long shot.
But why leave him here? Why the cone? What's the message?
The corn is just another symbol, Officer Scott. Ordinary everywhere, just like this guy thought he was pulling off with his hats. But it's also a place you can hide. The killer wanted us to find him here, to show us how easy it is to blend in, to disappear into the mundane while they play us like fools.
And while we are focused on the guy in the hats, the real mastermind was here the whole time, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Damn it, Detective Dan, we've been chasing a ghost.
And now that this ghost is getting bolder, they're showing us their hand. This isn't over, not even close. This killer, they're not done with us yet. They're just getting started.
So what do we do now? If this guy wasn't the end of the line, then who are we really looking for?
We go back to the beginning, Officer Scott. We find out who was really pulling the strings, and we don't stop until we caught the real killer. Because whoever they are still out there, watching, waiting for us to make our next move.
We're not chasing hats anymore, Detective Dan. We're chasing shadows. So what's the next mode, Detective Dan? Do we hunt this shadow down or what?
Do we go back and start over? Dig deeper or what?
Or we forget it all. We bury what we saw out here, because truth is, they all made their beds. Now it's time they all lie in them.
And maybe the world's better off that way.
Some stories don't need to be told. Some ghosts are better left buried. Interesting looking scarecrow.
Very odd, that's for sure.
And so they parted company after examining the crime scenes and solving nothing. The mastermind is left to celebrate its plan. Inspector Kazoo has once again figured out 95% of the case and is satisfied. Meanwhile, Carloads is driving Detective Dan Diamond back to the airport.
He writes up the papers, stacking them high. Claims and accusations that just won't fly.
839-521-7382.
Deuce looking for a score. Deuce, but he can't get more.
That's a hell of a song. So that whole bubblehead guy, pile of corn, top hats everywhere, pretty crazy, huh?
Just another Tuesday, Carlos.
Man, you detectives really live in a different world. I drive a guy to the store, that's my day. You're chasing bubbleheads and wrestling with corn metaphors.
Yeah, and don't forget the guy with the mic up his butt. That one's gonna be a classic at the precinct holiday party.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be a tough one for the coroner. How do they even write that up? Cause of death, karaoke mishap.
I told Kazoo we should leave that detail out of the report. But no, now it's on record for all eternity. Can't wait for all the press to get their hands on it.
Better hope they don't headline it as Guest by Open Mic Night.
Great, that's all I need. Next thing you know, I'll be the detective known for solving the Mike Butt case.
Hey, could be worse. You could be the guy who has to explain why you found a blueberry with a Superman D on his chest.
Honestly, I'm almost relieved to be getting out of here.
Yeah, I guess after a case like this, a normal life sounds pretty good. Go back to the city. No cornfields, no dead letters and poop piles. Just regular crime.
Honestly, at this point, I'd take a simple bank robbery or some guy jaywalking. Anything that doesn't involve bubbleheads or top hats.
Yeah, those top hats. You think they'll ever be back in fashion?
Not after this case. We've officially ruined them for everyone. But if I ever see another one, Carlos, I swear I'm gonna lose it.
Well, I'll keep a lookout for any suspicious haberdashers on the way to the airport. Last thing you need is a top hat attack before you fly out.
Yeah, Carlos. Last thing I need is a hat-related incident on airport security's watch. Could set up a whole new case.
Well, detective, safe flight, and hey, try not to think about the Mike Butt guy while you're up there. Could make for a rough landing.
Thanks, Carlos. I'll do my best. But just in case, if you hear about a top hat incident on the flight, forget you ever knew me.
Take care, detective. And hey, keep your hats on straight.
He writes up the papers, stacking them high. Claims and accusations that just won't fly.
83952173820.
Deuce looking for a score. Deuce, but he can't get more.
Meanwhile,
They'll be found watching YouTubers all day long. This is the Ollie and Cooter Show. Howdy, y'all.
Hey, Ollie, isn't that Carlos?
I guess that's why he hasn't contacted us about the vacation trip. Cooter, what are we looking at? A bubblehead guy in a cornfield? And a blueberry man with a mic? Where the sun don't shine? What kind of show is this?
Ollie, I don't even know, but I'm hooked. It's like every time I think it can't get any weirder, they throw in something like that top hat mystery.
And then Detective Dan. That guy's so deadpan. I don't think he's smiled in 20 years. He's like, oh yeah, just another Tuesday. Guy's got a mic up his butt. No big deal. Just another day at the office.
Yeah, but the way he said it, like he's seen it all. I mean, after bubbleheads, letters, and piles of poop, and cornfields full of dead guys, nothing phases him anymore.
Seriously though, who writes this stuff? I half expect the next episode to have a killer clown juggling flaming bananas or something.
Ollie, I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what? I'm here for it. Detective Dan will be all clowns juggling flaming bananas. Typical Wednesday.
Right? And then Carlos, the driver, he'd be like, yo, you want a banana? I got some in the trunk.
That guy's too cool for this nonsense. He's just like, whatever, Dan. You got dead people. I got traffic to beat.
Cooter, I don't know how they keep coming up with this stuff. I swear, each scene gets weirder and weirder, and I just can't stop watching.
It's like a car crash, man. You can't look away. Next week, I bet they'll have a ghost dressed in Velcro shoes haunting a laundromat.
Oh, Cooter, that would be epic. And Detective Dan would be like, Velcro shoes? Haven't seen that since '93. I know a guy.
Exactly. And Inspector Kazoo's over there whistling like, yeah, Dan, but why the laundromat? What's the connection?
Oh, man, and then Dan would say, because ghosts like clean clothes, Kazoo. They got standards.
I can't wait for the next one. It's gotta top the Mike Butt incident. Maybe this time they'll find someone stuck in a washing machine full of yogurt.
Now that would be something. And you know, Dan would say, seen it before. Yogurt's just the beginning.
Well, I don't know what's next, but I bet it's gonna be the weirdest thing we've seen yet. You in for next week?
Am I in? Cooter, I live for this chaos. You know I'll be right here.
All right, Ollie. Let's see what kind of weirdness Detective Dan brings us next time. But if I see another top hat, I swear, I'm starting the Conspiracy Theory channel.
I'll be your first subscriber. The Top Hat Mysteries Exposed. Coming soon to a YouTuber station near you.
Get some dollars, though you know it's low. He writes up the papers, stacking them high. Claims and accusations that just won't fly.
83952173820.
Deuce looking for a score.
Oh, that's that new song by DJ Radis, Ollie.
Yeah, it's a good song. It really gets my foot moving.